Hello, I'm Dynast Amir.
So I reached out to another friend of mine. I said, look, I need to go on vacation somewhere. Where should I go? He said, go to Africa. And not only am I going to go, I'm going to explore a new country. So I went to Tanzania, South Africa, Namibia, Mali, Senegal, Morocco, Liberia, Namibia, Kenya, the Voodoo Festival in Ouida, Gambia, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire. Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria. It's been a beautiful experience, just learning more about our culture, our indigenous culture. So Uhuru means freedom in Swahili. I'm in search of my roots. In finding that, I would experience my Uhuru, which is freedom.
Till next time, Dynast Amir. I'm out.
Peace, fam. I hope all is well. Hold on. Let me get this camera focused real quick. Oh, hold on. It's not focusing. Guys, give me a second. Let's get the camera in focus. It might be time to get a new camera. There we go. Bam. Peace, family. I hope all is well. I hope your Thursday is going well, guys. Do me a favor. Hit that like button again. Please hit the like button as you come to the chat room. It should be second nature now. When you come into the chat, hit the like button. It should be second nature now. You should know to hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, share, like, subscribe, pass the word. I mean, word of mouth. I mean, you guys should be telling everybody about In Search of Uhuru. Again, you guys should be telling everybody about In Search of Uhuru. We in here. I always hit that like button. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you doing that, my brother. I appreciate you doing that. If you have not bought the documentary In Search of Uhuru, I need you to go to searchforuhuru.com. I need you to go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. Again, I need you to go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. If you have not bought the documentary yet, I will greatly appreciate it. It really means a lot. I see you guys talking about all this stuff you guys watch on Netflix every day. So y'all need to, instead of Netflix and chill, you need to In Search of Uhuru and chill. Okay? So instead of Netflix and chill, you need to In Search of Uhuru and chill and buy the documentary. All right? That's what you need to do. So make sure you go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. Also, tours. Listen, we are rolling. The tour schedule is up. Again, the tour schedule is up. Make sure you go to Danfo, DANFO. Africa. Again, please go to Danfo, DANFO. Africa. And you can see we're all okay. Why didn't it come up? Hold on one second. There we go. Make sure you go to Danfo, DANFO.Africa. Go to Danfo.Africa, and you can see where we're going, where we're traveling to for next year. The early bird special for Senegal. Senegal, May 21st to the 30th. For the jazz festival. Early bird special, $250 deposit, locks you in. And we'll run that special to Thanksgiving. There we go. So if you're interested, go to Senegal with us. Make sure you go to Danfo.Africa. Again, make sure you go to Danfo.Africa. And shout out to everybody in the chat room. Also, you can see where the other countries we're going to be visiting next year and when. So again, go to Danfo, DANFO.Africa. Again, Danfo, DANFO.Africa to learn more. All right, let's jump into it. Again, let's jump right into it. We're going to be discussing, I don't watch baseball. I stopped watching baseball. I stopped watching baseball back when they had the strike in the 90s. Back when they had the strike in the 90s. That's when I stopped watching baseball. But I used to be a huge baseball fan, man. Ken Griffey Jr., Darryl Strawberry, Doc Gooden, Ricky Henderson, Eric Davis. Who else was there? Dave Henderson. I was a huge Oakland A's fan. Again, I was a huge Oakland A's fan. So, I used to be a huge baseball fan. Again, I used to be a huge baseball fan. Then they had the strike. I forgot when let me look up when the strike was. Hold on 1 second. And just after that, I lost interest. I think it was the 1990 strike, a lockout. Yeah, so 1990. Well, or was it the 94-95 strike? It was the 94-95 strike. And I just lost interest. Yeah, I just lost interest after that. Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonilla, the Killer Bees. Like I said, man, I used to love baseball. Again, I used to love baseball, but again, after the strike, I just lost interest. But we were putting out some good homegrown players. But I guess the interest in baseball in the Black community just died down. Everybody played baseball in Sacramento. Airport, Little League, Willow Rancho, Pocket. All the Black kids in the neighborhood, we played baseball. But I don't know what happened. It's just the interest just sunk. And I guess the focus primarily became football and basketball. But what's going on as well, what you're noticing, and this just isn't baseball, but across the board. I was talking to a friend today who's into education, high school education, and he was telling me like a lot of these kids aren't really interested in sports, period, at a lot of these schools. So just the interest in sports altogether is going down. But baseball, and the topic is, for the first time since 1950, there's no U.S. born Black players on a World Series roster. And I think who's playing in the World Series is the Astros, who is coached by Dusty Baker, and the Phillies. But see, wouldn't Dusty Baker is a Black American, and he's the coach for the Astros. So would he count? Yeah, he's from Cali. Great coach, great player. Yeah, but he would be considered part of the roster, but I guess they mean the actual playing on the field rosters, what they're talking about. But yeah, shout out to Dusty Baker. Sports are overrated. Why do you say that? Little League still exists, but the kids they'll play it on the next level high school. Yeah, I remember Little League, man, was packed. Little League baseball was cracking. Sports are overrated. Why do you say that? That's your opinion. Sports is a multi-billion-dollar industry globally. But yeah, but that was interesting. It just and if you look at it, we had the Negro Leagues. We had the Negro Leagues. But we gave up the Negro Leagues to integrate it to Major League Baseball. And now, the direction we're going in with Major League Baseball, there aren't really too many Black American players anymore. Again, there aren't too many Black American players anymore. So we went from the Negro Leagues having our own leagues to integrating into Major League Baseball to now we don't have nothing. In the DR, they practice with broomsticks and bottle caps. Yeah, but that's still interesting, man, that Black people wouldn't be interested in baseball. Well, Black Americans. Because the Dominicans and the Cubans, they dominate that. But again, it's just interesting how Black Americans are no longer interested in baseball. Negro Leagues, Jackie Robinson, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays Hayes. Well, Hank Aaron didn't play in the Negro Leagues, but I think Willie Mays played in the Negro Leagues. Of course, Jackie Robinson, he integrated into Major League Baseball. And now it's done. As far as when it comes to Black Americans, baseball is done. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Negro Leagues was financed by numbers runners and funeral owners. Hey, listen, we had our own league. I don't care who financed it. We had our own leagues. From my understanding, these owners, these Negro League owners, during that time, were making more money from their Negro League teams than the owners from Major League Baseball and their teams. So it's really integration is the reason why baseball in the Black community is pretty much gone. Integration. But like I said, during the Negro Leagues, the owners of these Negro League teams were making more money than the owners of the MLB or the Major League Baseball teams. So yeah, I read that somewhere. I think it was on Yvette Carnell's page, and I was like, I need to do a show on that. So listen, I'll put the link in the chat room if you want to call in. You're more than welcome to call in. But again, I'll put the link in the chat room. You said Stephen A. Smith spoke on this. Let me see if I can find that. Let's see if we can find the video of Stephen A. Smith speaking on this. Well, yeah. You know, part of we're not interested, and then part of we integrated. That's why it's gone. I'll tell you this. Deion Sanders is saving black college football, the HBCU football. We need to thank Deion Sanders for that. Again, we need to thank Deion Sanders for that. This is an old interview right here with Stephen A. Smith and Nelly. Oh, let's share this. Michelle, I'm gonna let you on in a second, sweetheart.
African American players in Major League Baseball declining year after year. Obviously, African American stars declining year after year. What can be done to reverse that trend?
Well, I would say something that probably need to take place just for baseball's marketing skills as a whole. I mean, even if you look at last night, one of the things that they tend to market is the home run. They market the home run. It's no wonder why everybody comes into the league and they want to be bigger and stronger to hit more home runs, because even last night showed the guy who won the home run title, he's not even an all-star, but he gets a chance to shine. You know, in that type of situation, you know, you look at it and you like, wow, okay, well, if you're just a regular everyday player, you're like, well, hell, if I can hit a couple of homers, I can at least get a chance to participate. I just think they do a terrible job at marketing and getting really deep into the problem of training kids from the very beginning. I know they sponsor RBI baseball and all that, but I think it's more than just cutting the check. I think it's more than just really just cutting the check to like RBI baseball and saying, you know, throwing your hands up. I mean, if you look at last night, like, where's the skills competition? Where's the skills competition in baseball? Where's the strongest arm from the outfield? Where's the most accurate arm from the outfield? Where's the fastest guy around the bases? Where is the, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no skills. The only skill you see in baseball is the home run.
That's fascinating, because I never even thought about that.
So if you look at that, a lot of the brothers, a lot of our skills were those. You know what I'm saying? We were fast, we were accurate, you know what I'm saying? And we had the speed, but now it's just about, get bigger, get stronger, hit it out.
Nelly, stay with me, because Skip, to piggyback off your point, I've been on here, and one of the things I brought up, I want to know what you think about this. And one of the things that stands out in my mind as it pertains to African-American interest in the sport, or the dwindling interest, is the wait. We're not ones to want to wait, to trust the system. You get drafted, even if you get drafted, you're the number 1 overall pick out of college or something. You still need to spend some time in the minors and stuff like that. And you've got to trust that the system itself is going to recognize your skill set and elevate you sooner rather than later, so you can ultimately get paid. Whereas other sports, you're able to bypass that process to some degree and go for it. Don't you think that plays a role?
You know what? I know it plays a role. You know how I know? Because I am that product. Okay. That was part of my reason why not, because of that process. Because when it came to summertime, you know, baseball's in the summertime. Where I'm from, everybody's hanging out at the park in the summer times. Everybody's going to the mall. Yeah, St. Louis. You know, where you going? You going to practice? I'm going to a game. Where you guys going? Well, we're going out to the park, man. We heard, you know, such and such female might be out there. They're going to be chilling, and you want to get to that park. And, you know, sometimes you choose because of, like you said, the wait. It takes so long. And then you start being unsure. Maybe I won't make it. I don't want to be trapped in
And
the
the
minors.
politics.
And that, exactly. And, you know, sometimes it takes a while to get there. And I don't know if the patience is there. I think it's going to take a younger GM or a younger baseball commissioner that's more intertwined, that has these views of why are we not pushing these buttons. And then once he comes in, then you might get a skills challenge. Then you might get somebody to revive. You know, it's a little bit thing. I think you got that so much of that old money up there, man. They just complacent.
Okay. Why did you choose baseball? You also played the other sports, but
Right.
but you had the opportunity to play, right? You still,
Well, basically, size played a lot in it. I mean, you know, I played all three sports, but you know, I just got to be this size when I hit 30. So,
Yeah.
so in high school, I wasn't a very big guy. So football was basically out of the question. If I would have worked on the left hand, probably a lot more, I probably could have gave basketball a shot, but that didn't work. So as far as all my physical attributes, baseball was one that, you know, I could run, I could hit. My hand-eye coordination was good. I played short, played center. I could play second. But you know, that was more of an intangible for me. So,
do you think your Cardinals get enough national respect?
No, I don't. No, I don't. But I mean, that's always been. You know, that's what it's like playing in that market. It's the same way me.
Oh, go ahead, Michelle.
Oh, hi. Thank you, guys. Thank
What
you
are
for
you?
having me.
Are you shaking something?
Oh, yes, my water bottle. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't realize you could hear that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm glad you actually did this show because I grew up in Stockton, right back down the road from you. And when I was growing up, yeah, we played baseball in recess.
What high school did you go to in Stockton?
Amos Alonzo Stagg.
What years were you there?
83, 86.
All right, never mind. That's way before my time.
Yeah, way before your time.
Yeah,
But-
because I knew like Marcus Fields went there, and I knew Maurice Washington, he went there. I knew a couple of people that went to Stagg. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the guys that were kind of big in all sports when I was there. I think their dad was a professional football player. I can't think of their names right now. But we played recess even when I was in elementary school, you know, and junior high, recess. Then we'd play after school. Then we'd play on the mixed teams, you know, on the weekends. Baseball was a big thing, you know, in that culture in that time. But I was struck, a couple of things. I was struck by sort of I don't want to say, well, there are excuses as to why we're no longer, or why young Black men are no longer capitalizing on, you know, the profession of baseball. Number one, even if you do start off in the farm leagues, you're still starting out at six figures, right? So it's that pocket. It's where we've stopped taking opportunities in certain pockets because I guess their reason is you're just not getting the quick result that you want. But it's kind of goes back to that argument for me, is that we're just not taking advantage of every opportunity because we want the quick fix, the quick money, whether it's rap, whether it's being able to be drafted out of high school for basketball, football, things like that, where now an entire new cultural dynamic has come in and taken over baseball. You know, I don't think it's a good enough excuse that, oh, well, you know, yeah, the owners, you know, they're not marketing properly, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, when we obviously have the athletic class to still come in and build a career. You may not be a superstar, you know, you may not be Aaron Judge, but you're going to be able to build a stable career, and you're cornering a market again. You're making some money. You can raise up, you can change things. Baseball is an easy sport for the most part to, you know, keep from having as many extensive injuries, right? So you can still corner the market, you know, and I know they've kind of pushed college on our kids. They've kind of pushed the STEM programs. That's all great. We want those things. But, you know, you can still be a scientist and do 5 or 6 years of baseball if you wanted. And to me, I just think that we're just losing ground in almost everything that was a beneficial market. Baseball, to me, is a big one when it comes to sports. Baseball and soccer. My kids played soccer. They played baseball, and they thrived. They didn't. They didn't get scholarships to college. They had to work their way through college, but they still did well, and they loved it, and they learned a lot. So I guess that was all I really had to say about it.
Yes, Stockton. You guys, if you don't know, Stockton is like 45 minutes south of Sacramento.
Yeah.
You shaking your water.
I'm sorry.
Shaking your water
I'm so
again.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, did you stay off of the 5 exit or 99?
I'm trying to think. It was so long ago. I haven't been back since I left high school. I went to college in Virginia because that's actually my foundational home. We moved to Stockton when my dad was in the service. So, but I lived off of Alpine Avenue. Alpine, and I'm trying to think of what that crossroad was. It was probably a mile from the Parkway. So the Parkway was near my house. I went to school right across the street when I went to junior high. I think it was Edison High, junior high. It was so long ago. But yeah, I still remember my last address is 1948 Alpine Avenue. My grandmother lived right up the street. It was idyllic for that time, but it's a hellhole now. I would never go back. It's a hellhole.
It's weird. Like Stockton hasn't really been able to like turn.
No, I don't think it will. I think it's just too far gone. And it was good that we got out when we did, during my formative years. And, I vacationed in Virginia every summer because that's where my family is originally from. In fact, my mother still lives in the house that her grandfather, the land. So they still live on the land. Her, my aunt, my cousins, that they owned going back 4 or 5 generations. So that is our home. And that's where I've spent a lot of my adult life, between Virginia and DC. But yeah, those are good memories, in Stockton. But even when my boys were growing up, they played baseball every season, loved it, absolutely loved it. And it was pretty competitive. It was competitive enough for them to want to continue to do it, to take it seriously. Sports was just not going to be their be all. Education was going to be what they did, or the military, because that's something that they explored as well. But yeah, it's sad. I think it's sad. I think we just need parents to be educated that could be, or just our young people to be educated that could be another way out, and another formative way to develop as young men, and that could solve the problem.
I agree, guys. Do me a favor, hit the like button again. Please hit the like button, and listen, link is in the chat room if you want to add to the conversation. Click on the link and you can add to the conversation. Listen,
I actually have to go.
Okay, I appreciate you
but
joining
I'll listen. All right.
Okay.
You have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Guys, listen, I was somebody sent this to me. Yeezys resell are reselling on Amazon for $800. Again, Yeezys are reselling almost $800. That's crazy. That's crazy. Guys, listen, links in the chat room. Links in the chat room if you want to call in. You can click on the link. I've never bought a pair of Yeezys, so I couldn't tell you. Again, I've never bought a pair of, like I said, I've never bought a pair of Yeezys, so I couldn't. Yeezus. They're called Yeezus. That's how you say it? They're not Yeezys? The Nike Yeezys go for more than that. Wow. Wow. But guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in, click on the link. Again, if you want to call in, click on the link. I don't know. But Yeezy put up the Skechers, which I'm like, what the hell are you doing at Skechers, Yay? I'm like, what the hell are you doing at Skechers? Out of all places, what the hell are you doing at Skechers? But listen, if nobody else is going to call in, we'll go ahead and start closing out. But links in the chat, we'll wait a couple more minutes. I hope so. Yeah, Elon Musk bought Twitter. Tomorrow's the official day. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. But listen, links in the chat room. If you want to call in, call in. If not, we'll go ahead and start closing out. Hey, guys, if you want to be off topic a little bit, that's fine. Yeah, Skechers escorted Ye out the door. I think Yeezy's gonna Ye's gonna be all right. Ye's gonna be all right. I think he'll be fine. Yeah, I think he'll be fine. So again, links in the chat room if you want to call in. If not, we're going to close out. Yeah, he should go to not Puma. Kanye should just start his own shoe line. Athletes in Motion, go ahead. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You got that Boost Mobile Wi-Fi. That's that Metro Boost internet. Hello? Hello? I would say log off and come back in. Log off and come back in. Yeah, that's that Cricket Mobile. All right, links in the chat room. If you want to call in, call in. We can add to the conversation. The link is in the chat room. I think that's what Kanye is trying to do. I think Kanye is going to shift to that, where he's going to start using black designers to do the designs of his. Hey, don't hate on Odoruo. Hello, we can't hear you. Athletes in Motion, we can't hear you. Yeah, we can't hear you. All right, links in the chat room. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for. Oh, here we go. Trina. Let's get Trina on here. Go ahead, Trina.
Well, I saw the topic last night, and I just got on here just now. I don't think a lot of these young, I'll say, FBA males.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for. Oh, here we go, Trina.
Okay, FBA.
On here.
Young FBA males are really interested.
You got the playback playing.
I saw the topic last night. Okay. I just don't think a lot of them are interested in playing baseball. I don't think it's really promoted anymore because I think a lot of these young black males, Black American males, in my opinion, I think a lot of them are more interested in football and basketball. I think that's promoted more. And baseball is kind of maybe slow moving, where basketball and football is more fast paced and it gets your attention more. Baseball is like a long 3 hours. So that's just my opinion.
Hey, Mr. Sandman, you got a lot of background noise. You need to roll your windows up or, go inside. All right, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
I still have a lot of background noise?
No, it's better now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the inner city of Philadelphia for the most part, and from what I recall, we didn't even have any baseball diamonds or in our parks. Anything we had in our neighborhoods was basketball courts and maybe a park that you could play tackle football in. So really wasn't even any outlets in the predominantly African American neighborhood that I grew up in. It seems like baseball for the most part is a privileged kids sport for the most part. I recall way back in the day, I think my father's generation, they were probably more into baseball because they could play in the neighborhoods. I mean, they played like a little stick ball, get a little ball and a stick, you know what I mean, and have like little baseball dreams, especially with Jackie Robinson and things like that. But, when my era came around, we had more athletes to look up to in other sports like football and basketball. Plus, the sport was readily available because all you needed was the ball to play. And you go out there and you hoop dream, or you play football. Throw the pigskin. Nowadays, I think black people, African Americans, we get more financially secure, and we're moving into more diverse neighborhoods that might have baseball diamonds, or their parents might even have access to the the resources that they need to get their kids into little league baseballs, because it's an expensive sport as well. So we might see the dynamics twist in the future. It's interesting because I know there's a lot of Dominicans and Cubans that happen to be black or of African descent that are playing in a Major League Baseball, and I'm pretty sure that they grew up playing the sport as well. And I know that they don't come from affluent backgrounds, so I don't know a whole lot about Cuba and the Dominican Republic. Maybe those young people have access to the sport more readily than we do. I know that a lot of those guys that had success in baseball, like Poppy, he'll go back to the Dominican Republic and invest in sports leagues for the young people, things of that nature. So I think that might be influencing the trajectory of it too. Yeah, so it's a lot of things that might be affecting the reason why we're not seeing African American kids into the sport as of right now. But yeah, it is a little disappointing when you turn on the baseball game for the World Series and you notice that there's none of us out there representing when we had such a, you know,
Trina, you want to add to that? Trina, you have any brothers or you have any brothers or cousins that played baseball growing up?
when I was a kid, I played softball when I was a kid with the girls softball, and my brother played t-ball. I just want to say, when I was growing up, I'm Generation X, so I grew up in the 80s. There were like some Black American men that did play baseball. Like I recall Reggie Jackson, um, Lonnie and Ozzie Smith,
Yep, remember them. Yep.
Daryl Strawberry, and those were just those are the ones that come to mind. There are others. It's been a while, and I don't know. I think in the 90s, I think it just started shifting. It just shifted to where it was like a lot of Afro Latinas really started playing baseball. Like I said, it just shifted because a lot of young Black males, in my opinion, by the time the 90s came, it was a lot of basketball and football being promoted. And a lot of Black males, Black American males, just wanted to play football and basketball. And then I think hip hop music had a lot to do with it, the culture. They talk about, sometimes they rap about football players, basketball players. So.
Yep. Guys, hit the like. Go ahead.
That's pretty much. It would be nice if I don't know anybody FBA basketball players today. I mean baseball players today.
I don't know it either.
I don't.
I think actually Tony Gwynn's son, I think, is still playing. And then Cecil Field. I think Tony Gwynn's son is just Cecil Fielder. I think his son is playing too. But I don't know any either.
Did you play baseball? You were All-American, right? Did you play baseball?
I played football. I played football around track. I played baseball like little league, but I couldn't hit a baseball to save my life.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I played softball. When I was a kid, I played softball. I was good at outfield, but I wasn't really good at hitting. But I was good on the field though. But you don't see it. Maybe I don't even. What happened to Little League baseball? You don't. How on TV they used to have Little League baseball.
Well, they still do that. But it's not as popular. They still do that, but it's not as popular.
So
yeah. So, guys, links to the
dying out.
Yeah, it's dying out.
Yeah.
Here we go. Haru P. Newton, go ahead. Haru, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Yeah. What I would say, I think I would go ahead and agree with Miss Trina to an extent. Now, I was born in '83, and for me, I did grow up playing baseball. But the reason why I grew up playing baseball was mainly because of I grew up in Brooklyn. My grandfather and grandmother were huge Mets fans. So we listened to the Mets every single weekend on the radio. Every single game there was, we couldn't even watch it on television. We had to listen to it on the radio. And back then, we were Daryl Strawberry fans, Doc Gooden fans. So it was really a big thing. I think kind of when Michael Jordan got really big in the 90s, that's kind of one of the things that went away from baseball for African-American youth. Although personally, that's, even though football is probably my favorite game, I would say it'd be really close to would be baseball would be my a close second, very, very close second. And the reason for it is, I mean, if, for example, my son's going to play baseball, period, right? Before football, even though I had far more success in wrestling and football, I would still prefer my child to, because we look at it all day long. You can play baseball till you're 40 years old, 45 years old, no CTE, not have any real issues, and make a $300 million contract with no problem. You can always play. As a matter of fact, you can go directly from the time you're 18 years old. I've had multiple young people that I know that have gone straight to the league right out of high school, that were African American. Now they went to the minor leagues, and you have to prove yourself, but you can get yourself a check right away. So if it's going to be a professional sport that I would probably choose, it would definitely be baseball prior to football or basketball, just because of the longevity and the guaranteed contracts.
I agree with you. Yeah, people don't realize how good that baseball money hit, and it's guaranteed.
Well, because they also don't have they don't have the type of caps that's had in NFL. I mean, literally, I mean, in 2 years we'll be seeing people getting $500-600 million contract for 10-15 years, guaranteed money the whole entire time. And like I said, you'll have a brain afterwards. You know what I mean? You'll play in the outfield, you'll play in the infield, whatever, and you'll be good to go. You may have some knee issues, ankle issues, but you'll be able to speak for yourself later on down the road. Versus in football, we can see what's happening.
Right. In regards to the injuries and all that. Guys,
and just the fact that they'll get you up out of here quick. You get hurt today.
Yeah,
I live in South Carolina right now, and a perfect example to be Marcus Lattimore. You know what I mean? He playing for the Gamecocks, gets hurt when he shouldn't have been playing that game anyway. Dropped his stock to go into the NFL. Only made it a couple seasons, and right out he was selling cars here in the state. You know what I mean? He couldn't even in South Carolina wouldn't give him a job to come back and work with the team because he didn't have enough accreditation, even though he was their best all-time running back, and he got injured when he shouldn't have even been playing football in the first place.
Yeah, I thought he was with the coaching.
He is now, but initially for his first couple of years when he came back, he was trying to get into coaching, and they actually they said he needed some sort of additional accreditations, I believe something with school or whatever, for him to be able to work for the team. So he ended up working with just getting a regular job for the most part, you know what I mean, until he was able to get back. So he does work for USC currently, yes. But prior to that, he wasn't able. So in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, okay, cool. I mean, you know, he's absolutely one of the best athletes you've ever had play for your team. He wants to come back. He wants to coach, and then you won't even find the man a position or a job right away, knowing that the reason why his career didn't end up being the career what it would have been is because he got here playing under Spurrier.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I mean, so Marcus Lattimore was there, and the defensive end. I forgot his name.
Went to the Texans. What's my man's name? He's from the upstate too. I forget the brother's name, but yes. Yeah, and actually,
I think
wide receiver too. He played there as well. Went to the league. He's from St. Matthews, South Carolina. I forget that brother's name as well, but he played for the Browns. And then, but yeah, for the most part, that would be my issue. I always recommend to parents, if you have a child and that young man wants to get into a sport,
Clowney.
I recommend baseball. Clowney. That's what it was. Davion. Yes. Now, speaking to the caller that you had previously with the gentleman, he is 100% correct, though, about baseball. Baseball is a lot more expensive sport in the sense of I've had multiple clients in the past that I've met where they have one or two kids that are playing travel baseball. You're looking at spending $15,000-$20,000 just for regular mediocre teams per season, because you're going to have to travel all over the place. The travel expenses are very high. You're going to have to pay for hotels every single weekend. There's tournaments every weekend, so it gets to be a lot more expensive than just say, hey, because that's how you get noticed with baseball. Baseball isn't necessarily the same sport that it was with basketball and football, where you can play at a high school level and get noticed as much. You really do need to be playing in a sense where you're playing club baseball and you're traveling.
Yes,
so
sir.
for the
And
average African-American, it's gonna cost way more.
Travel soccer is expensive as hell too.
Oh, absolutely. Because like as a very young kid, I played soccer for about 8 years. And one thing about soccer is because the thing is, it's not your regular games. It's going to be the tournaments that's actually going to matter. And you're going to have to be all over your region to be able to stay successful and stay relevant in that. Because they're looking at these kids, nowadays in third, fourth grade to see where they're putting projections out here for fifth and sixth graders nowadays. This person's going to be should be selected to go into the draft in 2032. That's how they're looking at kids nowadays. So it's a total different situation. But once again, before I get off the line, baseball is definitely the way to go for your guaranteed money. It is what it is. If you get hurt 2 years in and you're into a $30 million contract, you're going to still get your money. You're going to still be able to ride it out, and you'll still have all your faculties later on in life.
Yes, sir. So we'll take a couple more callers. If not, we'll go ahead. Or if you don't call in, you don't plan on calling in, we'll go ahead and close out. But in the meantime, guys, hit the like button. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to take a quick commercial break, family.
Hello, I'm Dynast Amir.
So I reached out to another friend of mine. I said, look, you know, I need to go on vacation somewhere. Where should I go? He said, go to Africa. And not only am I going to go, I'm going to explore a new country. So I went to Tanzania, South Africa, Namibia, Mali, Senegal, Morocco, Liberia, Namibia, Kenya, the Voodoo Festival in Ouida, Gambia, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire. Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria. It's been a beautiful experience, just learning more about our indigenous culture. So Uhuru means freedom in Swahili. I'm in search of my roots. In finding that, I would experience my Uhuru, which is freedom.
Till next time, Dynast Amir, I'm out.
Hey, with that being said, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you buy the documentary. Until next time, family, Dynast Amir, Search for Uhuru. Peace.